Honestly, probably should have put them on when I was doing the thumbnail, but yeah, who's counting? We're also in a weird spot in my office because this is just where I had to shift everything over to get my 3D printers back inside. So everything's kind of piled up over in the corner over there. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be working on actual stuff and possibly getting some more reviews out. I'm trying to find where I put my Allen wrenches for this stuff. But the goal of this video is just to pound this out real quick. Get one of these going so that if not tonight, then tomorrow I can work more on my 3D print project. Because we're currently trying to make a... Oh no, none of these... That's definitely too big. I thought it was you? Pretty sure this one's too small for this, but kind of in a hurry. So hopefully it'll get the job done without stripping it. But hey, art. Yeah, nothing too crazy this stream. Working on random commissions, what have you. I actually recently just got one done. Got done painting this guy up. It's a Komododon? However the hell you say that name for the Zilla's girlfriend from the Godzilla animated series. It does fit and turn, so we are good there. It's definitely not the right one. I also don't even have the right filament for this printer, the film release, but I do have some around here, and it's bigger than the one that's for this. So I'm hoping it'll work. Otherwise, I gotta order stuff, and then I have to wait longer. Because I did a test print run today, which I actually forgot to bring the heads back down when I went to do the stream. Hey Jay, which they came out. I made them bigger than the head because what I'm working on is a 1/6 scale spring trap from the first Five Nights at Freddy's movie, and we have the head, Matthew Lillard head. And I'm trying to make it to where the spring trap head will fit over top of it. And I made it bigger than the head was, but it still needs to be decently bigger to be able to fit the whole cranium in. Ooh, so older figures, it depends on how old. Because for the most part, I'm kind of picky on what like I would consider vintage nowadays, which is like anything from the 90s. And most of that stuff I also like to be carded nowadays. Like my the Kenner Aliens. I'm currently in, if I could find Dragonheart figures, I wouldn't mind picking those up. There's a couple of Lost in Space ones I'm still looking for. And also would like to get the Starship Troopers, but I'm mainly looking for stuff in package, and I'm kind of picky about it. So I tend to just look up local toy shops, vintage toy shops, and then just go check those out. Same with conventions, stuff like that. I actually try to avoid eBay because one, I like hunting the figures. I don't really like eBay's like easy mode for the most part. I'm also probably paying a premium too to be buying it on eBay. Usually, sometimes you get a good deal, and I'll just be like, whatever, I'll risk it. Like one of the Dragonheart figures I got for I won an auction for like $5. Sure, but I really want packagings to be pretty, at least solid. So I'd rather have them in hand so I can see how good of a shape they're in. Because there's been times I've gotten stuff off eBay where it's like the package looks good on eBay, but then I'll get it in, like the bubbles come peeling off and stuff like that. And I don't want that. So. And then yeah, it also just depends on what it is too, because there's certain things like if I'm buying it on eBay, like I know I'm probably getting scammed for certain things. Uh, Namely, like the Monster Arts figures, where it's like this figure is like too cheap for its own good, so I know I'm getting a bootleg, stuff like that. That's when I use eBay. Is when I don't mind. Depending on the guy's picture, sometimes I go use eBay if I'm getting loose items. That's actually usually when I'm more inclined to use eBay. And then, like I said, it just kind of all depends on what it is. But yeah, like I said, I don't mind using eBay for like loose things or like trying to get parts. Because what eBay is how I got my. Well, I had a complete shockwave. Is I just bought broken figures of it on eBay and then Frankenstein them one together to have a really good shockwave that was fully functional. Yeah, Amazon. I don't. I've never even tried doing eBay, Amazon on for vintage stuff because usually the prices are already kind of ridiculous. Let alone like eBay is probably the closest thing that I've used for like old stuff. Macari's another solid one. But like I said, I just like going to like conventions or finding like local toy shops in areas that I'm driving around. So like whenever we're going to like the Detroit area around here, I tend to stop in at places. Yeah, sometimes it's like the descriptions of stuff on eBay can be very vague. That's for sure. Hell, I've sold stuff on eBay that I've had some guys call me out. Like the one guy was like, the figure was dusty. I'm like, it didn't seem dusty to me, but okay, I'm sorry. The guy was very upset about it. Usually when I sell on eBay too, I'm usually not really making too much of a profit on anything. After fees and what have you. I've only made money on like a few things. That is true. Like I said, I don't buy a ton on Macari either, but there's like once in a while you'll find something for a good deal. Like I still want to get the Super 7 Ultimate Megazord. That's one of the ones I've been meaning to grab. I kind of want to get the gold one because at least it'd be something unique. And the gold Megazord's actually canon now. Okay, the old film's out. Stick it there because I'm gonna take a UV light to it just to make sure everything's cured on it before I toss it in the garbage. I think it's still plugged in. It does not, so I'll worry about that after the fact. I do got some film up here, which should work. I do got some isopropyl alcohol. We got paper towel. Yeah, I was gonna say that eBay is great for that. For kit bashing things. Like I said, sometimes you find good deals on stuff once in a while. I got some anime prints off of I think they're like the more recent things I've bought off eBay. Is I won some like anime cells a little while back. because I tend to pay attention to that because I want that's one thing I wouldn't mind some more of for certain animes I really liked. There were some Guyver ones I was watching not too long ago. They ended up spiking quite a bit, so I didn't, and it wasn't able to get them, but it would have been cool. Oh, it's so hard to peel things with gloves on. It's like the one thing I like when I'm sculpting with monster clay instead of epoxies, I can use my hands. Like I said, this one's not meant for this, but it will get the job done. Just gotta make sure it's lined up nice. It's more likely with time constraints, I'm probably not gonna. Yeah, so that's the nice thing with like GameStop or Target or what have you, is you can usually see like what they got in stock in the area. Can't remember if I shared on the Discord, but I went into Target the other day and seen they had the small Super Sevens Godzilla figures, and they have a Destroya, and in the package the mouth is like so wide open. You just like you just look surprised. And it's been there for a couple weeks now, so every time I walk past the collector's area, I just got this Destroya that just looks terrified. Like he's seen things. And then for some other fun Godzilla news, I see that we're getting a new Godzilla anime. So it sounds like Singular Point's dead, which hurts my feelings. Because they left it was like the Mecha Godzilla cliffhanger, and I want to know what happened with that. It sounds like we're not getting that anymore, or at least not anytime soon. We're instead getting Kaiju number 8, the Godzilla version. Where it's going to be like, our shonen protagonist has the power of Godzilla inside of him. And he gets Godzilla random armor. And does things. It better be a magical girl. I'd almost be offended if it wasn't. One thing I always gotta remember when I'm doing this is when I'm putting these screws on, you don't want to make them too tight because then it makes it hard to get it out later and possibly strip the nut. They don't have to be that tight. So usually, I get about as tight as the top one can give me enough torque. I don't really use the bottom piece to really like force it. Yeah, I'm still down to watch it. Don't get me wrong. It was just like when they announced it, I was just like, well, there goes Singular Point. Wah, wah, wah. It could be good, though. From the image, it looks kind of neat. Like I said, the only weird thing for me is like we just got Kaiju number 8 and then that's coming out. So I gotta put this up here so that I don't hear my curing station. The lid was off of it, so the ceiling lights was making it go off. It does look like it's going to be CG though. I think it's the only thing I'm a little bit apprehensive about. It's because CG animes can be wildly different. Oh, nice. I still have to order mine. I'm waiting for them to show up at some place, and then I'll probably just do a pay it forward with whoever gets it first. Methinks, anyways. I haven't been in a rush for that one because I do have the bootleg, and I do like the paint job on my bootleg, so. Although I have been tempted to do a wash on it. And to be fair, if I do inevitably get the Showa one, I'll probably end up doing something else with the bootleg anyways. / selling it. Or both. Although I get some spare time. Thinking about when that Ghidorah comes in, I kind of want to 3D scan some of it and then make a squish section. At least from the images and from what I've seen of the studio, they're more of a CG studio. Trying to think of what anime I liked recently that was CG. There was one that I didn't mind. I'm having a hard time thinking what it was. Yeah, well, we only saw the one still. The one still seems like it's CG. Looked pretty clean, but it sounds like my guess. It's probably just gonna be a CG. Sort of like Gamer Rebirth. Oh yeah, the was it Tojima Wants to Be a Kamen Rider? That show is great, by the way. I've been liking that one quite a bit. I'll admit, I mainly started watching it because I'm like, it's Kamen Rider, and I kept seeing the clip online of I can't remember her name right now. Tackle doing her transformation. It's just her just ripping her shirt open, and I'm like, sold. I guess I'll watch it. And then surprisingly, it's also just been a really good anime. It's actually pretty funny. Ooh, I don't know about best. The one I keep forgetting its name is currently my favorite one this season. It's like gotcha something. It's about a kid that gets special abilities from liking junk, and he gets framed for murder, and then gets sent to pretty much the junk land, and finds other people that also kind of have the same abilities going on. It's pretty sweet. The animation in it's really good. And the story's fairly unique right now, so like I've been really enjoying that one quite a bit. I don't know how well you're going to cut this, but you're what I got. I would say Tojima's a close second, though. I've been liking that way more than I thought I would. Because this season I haven't been really watching too much. Like I finally started watching or catching back up on Spy Family. So I'm only a few episodes behind now. Man, I got one good cut with this, so it was just like, that's it. Oh, come on. Do you have a good enough blade to get this through? Okay, this will work. Clean enough. Okay, just want to wipe this off real quick. No. Oh, you got the General Grievous? You'll have to send me some pictures of that one. He was always my favorite from the prequels. I like General Grievous. Alright. It's a bit dirty, but I can clean that up later. Okay. Now it's inserting these. Still gotta work on getting the big printer cleaned up too. That'll probably be tomorrow. Is I gotta make the file again for testing out more Springtrap heads. Yeah, the one I've been debating on is there's the Black Series General Grievous. But I finally got my doll, or the Hasbro. So I've been pretty happy with that. Problem is my Hasbro came and broke. Mint in the package and damaged. So I've still been meaning to work on his shoulders, so I gotta fix them. So he looks good on the shelf, but he just can't really hold anything. There's that. Then these I just go around and just start tightening them a little bit. I don't go crazy. Because also now I got the printer working. It was working. But for somehow I got two of the wires mixed up, and I don't know how, because I had them going in order, the way it was assembled. And I think it was just probably last time I fixed it, I might have put them in wrong, maybe. I don't know. But I had two of the wires mixed up, so it was still operating, but one of the resistors was missing one of the resistors for the light. So it was just sort of staying on after it was getting done printing. So it was starting to cure my vat while I was sitting there. It was really putting a lot of stress on the filament, plus wasting a lot of resin. But no, I got that fixed today after mucking around with that for a bit. So I could do the one print, and then crap failed. Like I said, I've been trying to be a little better about making sure every day I'm doing something with commissions. I was going to paint the Zillas, but then my daughter never took a nap, so that didn't happen. But Jessica's off tomorrow, so that should give me quite a bit of time to work on things. Because I'm hoping after the holidays to start working on a project I've been wanting to do for a little bit now, which is make some of my own figures. Sort of like a Sofubi style. So that'll be cool. That's the hope anyways. I just haven't decided what I want, like what I'd want to start with. Because I just don't want to make like a vinyl of something that you could get like from a Marmot or what have you. So I've been leaning towards possibly maybe doing like the Godzilla creepypasta, making some vinyls of those. I think would maybe be kind of cool. I definitely want to do a critter. A critter one. And maybe doing some. If I do like Godzillas, they probably more like channel related. So making like a crying GMK Sofubi. Stuff like that. To be fair, there's nothing wrong with donating blood, though. I had a buddy that used to do that all the time. He'd go donate blood, then go buy magic cards. Because he pretty much his job paid for bills and food, and the donating blood was all his extra spending money. All right, I think I'm golden. So that's all put together. I got the one in there I have to fix, but that can wait. That'll probably be a tomorrow thing. I'll disassemble that vat, drain the resin into that one, so then I can use this one to keep printing, and then get the other one fixed. Still got the morpher hanging around over here that we got. That sucks. I haven't messed with this thing. I can't even fit this in my hand. I like that it has the belt strap, though. It's morphin' time. What? The button's not on the side? That's weird. Ooh, I don't like that. So the button's there. So I'd be like, it's morphin' time. Okay, I'm kind of glad I didn't buy that now. That would annoy the piss out of me. Ooh, yeah, needles suck. I don't know. I can deal with getting poked. I just can't watch it. So whenever I've gone to the hospital, they're like, "Yeah, we gotta get blood samples or whatever." I'm just like, "All right, just do it." It'll be a little prick. That's about it. Yeah, you'll see. Table's kind of a hot mess right now because the got the printers in and was cleaning them up. Because also I'm gonna hopefully get that one going here in the near future too. Because I want to start making more prop stuff for conventions and whatnot. Because I'm working on that spring trap. I'm tempted because I have all the files for it anyways. Might just make a spring trap outfit just for giggles. My wife would like it, so that's a possibility. Also, the Lost in Space one back there, I gotta uh, do a couple more things and try to get that one all ready and set. Trying to lose a little bit of weight so I can hopefully do that outfit a little bit better justice, because I also still have to find a proper jacket and pants to go along with the work on too. I just haven't found one that I can buy cheaply that I like. To be able to get something that looks close. Anyways. This is a lot harder than you'd think it would be. Because I was randomly looking for vintage bomber jackets and stuff on eBay. Can't find any of them. Sucks. Sucks a lot. Oh yeah, the scanners are sweet. Yeah, we do. That's how I usually do my beam effects on the Etsy shop. I sculpt them by hand and then I scan them into the computer so that the mouth fits over the beam. That's how I've been doing them now. Because the minus one, the legendary, I made using Blender like entirely. Um, but the Showa beams and the Final Wars beam and a few other ones have been 3D scanned, and it worked pretty good. The Shimo was a 3D scan. Yeah, I did lose a bit of weight. I haven't cut soda technically, but I've been drinking just zero. So anytime if I get a pop or something, it's always zero sugar. So my only real sugar intake from drinking is I still get Slurpees pretty regularly. I'll get like one. Everything else is like, if it's sugar, it's something I'm eating. So it's a little easier for me to watch what I'm eating then. Because drinking, on the other hand, I could drink like a crap ton and it doesn't feel like you're drinking, like getting a lot of calories in, but you definitely are. Yeah, because I'm technically down 20 pounds since I started doing that. And then my chest also hasn't been bugging me as much either, so that's been really good. Oh, sad day. But yeah, I need to. Well, one, I need to get ready to go to bed. But two, I really do want to finish working on this guy. Well, I thought I just saw a piece hanging on the table, and I was so confused. Because I printed this thing like what, like at least like a good year ago. I printed this out. It came out really good. I still have to finish cleaning it up and then doing doing all the infilling. I still have to do with this thing. But fun note, I did manage to put the magnets in. I probably should get some stronger magnets before I finish wrapping this guy up. It's a little bit of a tight fit, but this guy it is. Pop some into here. That works good. Orbiter. It's like it just fits in. It's technically got 5 spots for magnets, but I need some stronger ones. It stays in decently just with friction, but I would imagine me just moving it around, it'll eventually jar up. Yeah, because the way I printed it, this is the part I got to clean up the most, because I printed it technically upside down. And this, I got to go over it with some Bondo or epoxy. Sure did. Got a bit of an upgrade. Also, since Lady Draco's here, you little guy's all done. Can I aim in a direction that you'll get more lighting? There we go. I maybe want to go one more time over the tummy just to brighten that up a little bit more. But everything else is done with it. But, yep, Komodo Threx looks really good. Really pleased with this one. I'd say the epoxy came out pretty well hidden too, which is nice. I just got to clear coat that one and then I'll pretty much be all good to go. Then it'll be work. I got to hopefully work on the Zillas tomorrow for a bit. Same with the Orga. I got to try and make a little more progress on that guy too. Get a little bit more sculpting in. And then printing. Lots and lots of printing. I got like 2 printing jobs I got to work on. So that'll be fun. So we'll see how that goes. Because the one I got to use the big printer for, and that one's a little bit more temperamental than my smaller Elegoo. Favorite Godzilla movie? Godzilla versus King Kong, the 1962 one. Have a good one, Jay. Oh, you mean up top? It's actually the vintage stuff is up there. And that's definitely not all of it. It's just what's facing me. There's like some of the legacy stuff seen out there. There's some of the play school ones here. The other side is all like vintage OG stuff. And then there's like over there's Jessica's giant thing of miscellaneous Jurassic Park stuff. It's like popcorn buckets, like tumblers from like uh and like the squeeze bottles, what have you. Like a lot more vintage stuff scenes out there too. There's the giant wall of Mattel with some Hammond's or Hasbro's handing out in there. I did. It actually did show up. I haven't looked at it. I haven't opened it up yet, but it did show up yesterday. Forgot to mention that. Got that one hanging out because also one of the other guys' stuff's hanging out. Can't remember his actual name, but his stuff showed up. But come to find out, it didn't come with the figure, so we gotta get the figure still. So that's gonna be hanging around for a minute. But yes, do have the Hammond. The Hammond's yeah, the Hammond's probably still my favorite Spinosaurus. We just got the Colossal in. Colossal's pretty sweet too. I like that one quite a bit. That one's still hanging out in my office. I gotta figure out where the hell that thing is going down here too, because where the Colossals and all of her stuffed animals were is where I was repairing some of the windows, and the old windows are still hanging out in that spot. So I gotta get them out to the garbage, so that I can move them over and then get the Spino back in place too, and all the shelving. Yeah, I don't have the lights on down here currently, so it's gonna be really dark, but you can kind of see where stuffed animals are. And then there's more Jurassic Park that way. There's like vintage stuffed animals, dinosaurs there. Vintage dinosaurs all throughout there too. That's a lot of like the old play school Dino Riders. You name it. There's probably something up there from one of them companies. If you got loose joints, floor polish sometimes will usually work. I know they also make products specifically for that. But yeah, floor polish will work. It all depends kind of on also I did to see the joint because sometimes you get stuff in there in the joint too to give it a little more friction, like toilet paper or like paper or cardstock, give it a little extra friction. But yeah, usually floor polish is like my normal go-to. You just like drip a little bit of it in the joint and then just work it and then let it sit and just clean off the excess. Can you tell my child hasn't had a nap yet today? Oh, she's having a good time up there. Wait, anyways, you can help us defeat those kaijus by hitting the like button, subscribe, become a ranger today. We also got Instagram, Patreon, TikTok, and Facebook. Guys, will give you the channel donate. Greatly would appreciate. We also have a new t-shirt shop, which I actually have to order some of the shirts for myself so that we can kind of wrap them a little bit more during live streams and what have you. But there's shirts, there's hats, there's fanny packs, there's sweaters. Kind of want a sweater. It's funny enough, my work doesn't care what I wear, but I have to wear a certain color. So I always want to get my shirts in that color so I can wear them at my other job while also representing. I think would be hilarious. We also got the Etsy shop. You guys like to Possibly get commissions done for yourselves. And also make custom beams. Funny enough, I actually found one of the extra. That was one thing you could tell. It's covered in freaking cat hair. But the old Ghidorah beams. I found a couple hanging around. Oh, but I have most of them all put away. But there's like the Heisei beam and stuff. Now that the printer's working again, I can hopefully print a. I gotta make more bending beams. By itself, it's a Megalon beam. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty close. Although when I think of Megalon, I think of the little exploding balls that he would shoot out of his mouth. So if anything, if they made a Megalon figure, I just want to make like a little exploding effect for the ground. And maybe make it some kind of like a little spray looking thing with some balls on it, maybe. Something like that. Also, if you guys are picking up your action figures, there's links for Entertainment Earth, Calcus Toys, depending on what your needs are. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.